Acquisitions, LS501. Here we have the basics of acquisition. First, of course, we have to prepare the order. So we ask what we want to acquire. Usually, depending on the library, if it's a large public library or academic library or school library, the library will have an acquisitions department. So, of course, has to do with collection management, but it's not something that in large libraries the selector or the the, uh, the librarian would do. Uh, you would do your selection, and then the acquisitions department will do the acquisition. However, in smaller libraries, sometimes we have to do it all. So we have to do reference, we have to do um, um, library instructions, we have to do selection, and then we have to do acquisition too. But normally there will be an acquisition department. So the form have to be prepared. Then we have to find the items, and we can buy the items from vendors or jobbers. The advantage of buying from vendors is that you get a lot of discounts, and because they carry a lot of things, they are like they get a lot of things from different publishers, and you can order online, which well nowadays is something that you can do also from other places, but vendors they have online ordering. And another big advantage is that you get your materials shelf ready. They come with a catalogation, with labels, barcodes, cover, etc. Now, what are some of the disadvantages? Well, it all depends on the service. Some vendors provide great service, some others don't provide the same level of service. There may be wrong processing of materials, and sometimes you have to wait additional time. But vendors, of course, is a great place to get new books for our collections. We also can get the materials directly from the publisher, and the advantage is, in my opinion, the main advantage is that we have information that probably is nowhere else. We have up to the minute information in terms of publishing and bibliographic, and if we have a good relationship with the publisher, we may know what's going to be published in the future. Now, the disadvantage, they don't have discounts, and sometimes they don't like to sell individual items. So if you want to buy one book or one material, it may be a problem because they usually don't do those orders. Also, they may not have the same level of customer service that jobbers have, because their business is not to sell to individual items. Then we can buy from bookstores too, and we can buy from the large online bookstores such as Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, and others. I heard that in other countries you go to a bookstore, a physical bookstore, and you buy some books there, and even you can purchase books in the streets for your library collection. Of course, we're talking mostly about the developing world, but here in the US we can buy from bookstores. When we need an item and we find it in a bookstore, we buy it from there. And of course we can get online and get from, for example, Amazon or Barnes and Nobles, just to name two, but there are many other online bookstores. It is fast, it's an easy transaction, shipping is very fast, though it may be expensive. There is a flexible return policy, so meaning that you can return your material, and it's a good source for out of print materials. And there are some specialized online bookstores where you can find materials that are out of print in a different language and in specific disciplines. And depending on how you want to develop your collection, you may have, for example, a foreign language collection in Spanish or Italian or French, and you may have to buy some books from bookstores, and not only in the US but also international bookstore. If you have a rare book collection, you may acquire some materials from these rare bookstores, and many of them are already online. Before, I remember when we have to buy a lot of materials, just mailing the the order. Now online, uh, now almost all the bookstores, such as, and also the vendors and also the publishers, they have online ordering. Of course, disadvantages is that there may be some the discounts there may be too small. Types of purchases, and this of course will depend on your library. There are firm orders, standing orders, on approval, and leases. Firm orders is the one you're already you're sure you want to get and you pay for, and you get your materials. Then there are standing orders, and these are advanced ordering plans. So as soon as new materials are coming into the marketplace, you are getting them. You get new editions or new titles when they become available. On approval, your library you get new materials in accordance to your own customer profile, and you can review the materials, and you can keep them or you can return it back to the vendor. And there are leases, and this is the library will receive a large number of copies that can be returned when the demand decreases. Now, the problem with leases is that if you want an individual item, they're going to be priced higher. Uh, Many libraries, again, it depends on the type of library and the size of the library. We have to take into account. Larger library systems have more advantages because they buy more materials, they get better price, and sometimes they get better service, and they may use a combinations of these type of purchases. Smaller libraries don't have the same kind of clout because they don't buy as many materials. So sometimes we have to go for if you have a small rural library, you have to have a firm order. It's very seldom when you can have on approval or a lease. But if you are in a large library, you can have a combination of these four types of purchases.